Well, they're not going to tell me they're not, are they? I hope so. Look a bit mental with it. Enormous amount of cheese. I would just like to point out we have burnt off a lot of calories this week. Yeah, when it's all cooked and oozy and delicious. Hi everyone, welcome to the kitchen. Today I'm going to do a cooking video, which for anyone that knows me will find that absolutely hilarious because I am not the best of cooks, but today I'm going to be doing a tartiflette. I've had one practice run at home. I was absolutely desperate to make a tartiflette. So I did one when we went home last time and it was a huge success. So we're going to have it for dinner tonight, and somebody on here said, oh, that would be amazing if you did a cooking video. So it's a little bit of the blind leading the blind. I've only got one dish. I don't know if it's the right size according to the recipe. It's a BBC Good Homes recipe and I roughly used it last time. I'm one of those people that never read the instructions. So I've kind of assembled the ingredients. I'm going to eyeball how many potatoes I think we need, and I will add a big onion. I will add all the bacon that I have just to get it used up, and why not? My other restriction is this is my biggest pan. So far it's all going really swimmingly. So I'm just going to start out by peeling a few potatoes, and then, when we first came here, we obviously were living in a building site. We're still living in a building site. But I kind of used some of the bits and pieces that my sons had taken to university, and now they came home. They came home with all their stuff, and I thought, I don't want to use really nice stuff here. We're living in a building site. I was cooking like on a camping stove type situation. So this is the first time I bought some nice knives with us, so that's quite exciting. Look a bit mental with it. So I've actually got knives that can cut this time. So I'm going to peel a load of potatoes, put them into salted water and get them onto the boil. We didn't even have a potato peeler when we went to the supermarket for the ingredients earlier. I suddenly went, oh, I don't think we've got a peeler, because I mean, in what lifetime on a camping stove kind of thing would I be cooking anything this involved? Not that it's that involved, if I'm honest. It's really easy, which is why I'm cooking it. Right, I've peeled all the potatoes and I sliced them. I can't remember if I said whether to slice them or not. I've done them all roughly. I was going to say that big. I mean, that means nothing. I'll take you over and have a look once I've got the pan on to boil. Excuse the noise, Steve is still doing work. I'm still getting to grips with this cooker, so bear with. Cooking with gas. I'm still trying to get to grips with this cooker. I moved to a house 8.5 years ago, and I went to electric induction hob. So I've not cooked with gas in a very long time. This is a particularly powerful cooker. I have struggled to turn it down enough for what I need. So there may be some clearing up of boiled over water and all sorts of things that I'll cut from this, and you'll never know. Here, so there's the potatoes in the salted water, and you can see I've tried to keep them roughly the same depth so that they cook at roughly the same time. Funny that. I'm just going to do them till they're a little bit soft, because they will go with all of the other ingredients into the oven and cook on a little bit further. Last time I didn't cook them quite enough, but it's tricky to tell from a recipe because you don't know how big their potatoes are and you don't know how thick they've cut them. So while this is going on, I am going to dice up the onion. The potatoes are bubbling nicely, and no, the water didn't go over. You'll have to take my word for it. I've just put on my pan and I'm melting a little bit of butter. Chop the onions ready, and I've done lazy bacon bits. Sorry about that, not sorry at all. I just need to brown off the onions for a bit in the butter and then add in the bacon, and that's kind of the accompaniments done. It appears I've got a little bit more used to the cooker, she says. There's a bit of rumbling in the background. It's been a really, really sunny day, and thunder and swearing from the bathroom work. Right, I've got 1 minute 40 left on my timer for the potatoes, but I'm going to check them because the firm potatoes, on the second day, they were perfect, where I'd reheated it in the oven and it had a bit more cooking time. But on day one, could have been better. So I'm going to cook the onions for a bit and then add in the bacon. Steve just come and said it smells good. So there you go, there's the bacon and onion absolutely sizzling away. I'd actually like to get a little bit of colour on it. I think maybe the water content's a little bit high, so I'll just leave that to carry on. And the potatoes are very nearly ready to come out. So I could not get this cooker to go to a simmer before. It's just so powerful. And look on the copper at the back there, it is starting to spit, but hey, that's what they're for. Part of the patination. It does give me heart attack, each little mark that happens on all this work that we've done, but it's there to be used. No? It's just occurred to me as I've been getting ready to assemble all of this together. This dish ought to be called Heart Attack on a Plate. This is special tartiflette cheese. It's the size of my head. There's no point to keep any of it. So if the dish will allow, I'm going to put it all in. And then I top it up with cream. So, a little bit like the potatoes, I cut this into lengths. So, here we are. Actually, it's very nicely already got the lines on there for me. So, actually, that's a bit too thin. It's quite like brie. I do think that a recipe that I read somewhere, because I did look at a few, said you could use brie instead, but I am going to, that's quite a lot. This will keep us going for a couple of days, and it's our main dinner. And Steve said the first time we had it, it'd be really nice with something. And I said, yes, it's traditionally served with salad. That would be for a reason, because my goodness, I don't think you actually need to have anything else with this. My God, the amount of calories. Anyway, I'll start assembling it in a second. Here he comes. All right.
Yep.
I'm just going to assemble it so it's all ready to go in the oven.
Cool. It's about to chuck it down again.
Yes, I saw how dark it was. I could hear the thunder. Right, we're ready. So, our components. Sliced cooked potatoes. Enormous amount of cheese. Salt and pepper. And then our diced onions and bacon. So, just going to do a layer of potatoes in the bottom. Any minute the heavens are going to open outside, and it has been the most gorgeous day as well, and what can you do? I'm really excited to eat this. The boys haven't eaten this yet, and Callum's moved out of home now. Dylan's still at home at the moment. So they should be coming with their girlfriends in June, and I'm going to cook a gigantic one of these, and they're excited to eat it. Well, they're not going to tell me they're not, are they? Anyhow, so layer of potatoes. I'm going to grab a spoon. I think it'd be easier to handle with a spoon. I did think this in the recipe last time, that I should definitely have done more bacon and more onion. And I'm thinking that again this time. I'd probably go for a couple of onions. Actually, I'm not sure if that's not too bad on the bacon side of things, but I think definitely more onion. Right. A layer of that. Salt and pepper. This is coming out, the new salt and pepper mills, and it's coming out so crazily fine. I did check that it's coming out. And pepper. Right, the pepper's much better. The salt is, and even the pepper's quite fine. I left out this step last time, and I think it'll make a difference. Ready? Cheese. Cheese. I would just like to point out, we have burnt off a lot of calories this week. And we hardly ate yesterday. Whenever we're kind of working, it's always eyes on the prize. So we just snacked on a couple of bits during the day yesterday, and then we went out for dinner. Right, another layer of potatoes. And so you go on until everything's used up. Really? It's as easy as that. Oh, actually, the potatoes have cooled down enough to not... And this is just for me and Steve, so... Excuse fingers. Quite tempted to put it in the oven now. We were supposed to be going out tonight for a little bit into town, but I don't want to go out in a thunderstorm, and I'd also quite like to sit and eat this. Right, so another layer of potatoes done. I'll carry on until I've used everything up. I've already used up the onion and bacon. Then it's ready really to go in the oven, except for one thing. You pour an entire carton of single cream before it goes in the oven. So I'll show you just as I get ready to do that, because I have pre-prepared this for later on this evening because we thought we were going into town. So I just wanted something that when we got back we could just put in the oven. It's really nice and warming and sizzling. So I'll come back to you when it's ready to go in the oven, and then you can see it when it's all cooked and oozy and delicious. It's an awful lot later now. We went out. It's rainy and horrible outside, and we are just about to tuck into this. It looks gorgeous. I am very, very hungry. I think it's like nearly 9 o'clock or something now. Steve's just decided to carry on working. I have cleaned the shower enough that I can use it, which is a plus point. See the steam coming off that. I am ready for this. I hope you enjoyed my first and probably last cooking video. Let me know if you make tartiflette.